Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the basics series. If you're new here, my name is Giselle, and in today's video we're going to go over all my little tips and tricks on highlighting and blush. If you missed any of the previous videos in the series that take you up to this cute face so far, I'm going to go ahead and link you down in my description for all the videos that you might have missed. Like this video if you found any of my tips helpful for you, and make sure to also subscribe to my channel because we got all this cute content and this cute little face. I'm just gonna be coming at you on a weekly basis, okay? You're gonna love it. So make sure that you subscribe and also hit the notification bell so that way you know exactly when I post. Also make sure that you leave me any comments down below if you found any of this helpful. If you want to tell me how cute I am, definitely do that. And if you have any suggestions on things that you want to see out of this basic series, holla at your girl. Let me know in the comment section. And without further ado, let's get started. So first off, I want to show you guys the different formulas that highlighter comes in that you may not think about or may not consider using on your face. So the first one is MAC Lustre Drops. I really love this if I'm going for like a super natural, like no makeup kind of look. And I'm just gonna show you what this looks like on the back of my hand just so you have an idea. And when you rub it out, it's nothing too crazy, but you do get a sheen. I know you can see that. I know you see. So that looks like really pretty when you're just like going for something with like a nice dewy foundation. What you can do is you can take some and like kind of like rub it in between your fingers and then just like pat, or you can also use like a sponge. I would suggest using your fingers, that way your sponge doesn't soak up all the product and you're not really sure what you're working with. The next one is also like a liquid form, and this one's by Cover FX, and this is more of like a blinding highlight. Now I'm putting some on the back of my hand, same amount as I used for the MAC one. And I'm just gonna rub that out. A little bit goes a long way with this stuff. And you see how much brighter that is than the MAC one? This one I would say is not for like a natural look. This is more like a, I want you to know that I'm wearing a highlight right now. You can definitely give this a try, and you can also, like I said, just put it in between your fingers and just pat it in. It'll look really pretty. I really have a bad habit of sleeping on drugstore formulas and foundations and makeup in general, but these have definitely opened my eyes onto what drugstore products have to offer. This one is from Wet n Wild, and this is their MegaGlo highlighter, and this one is like more of like a pinky rose gold. This one is from Maybelline, and it is their Master Chrome highlighter, and this one's really pretty as well. It's like more of like a goldy color. So as far as higher end, you've seen one, you've seen them all. It's just a matter of going into the store, swatching them, checking their formulation, and playing with them and seeing what works best on your skin. This one is one of my favorites and one of the first highlighters that I ever started out with, and this is Albatross by NARS. It's like a really pretty sheer like gold, and this one is by Fenty Beauty, and this is like the double one that they have, the kilowatt highlighters. One is Girl Next Door and the other is Chic Freak. I like these because they have like more of like a pink hue, so if I'm doing a more pinky look, then I tried to use this. And then we also have something from MAC, which is their Global Glow Mineralize skin finish. And then of course the Amrezy highlight by Anastasia, super fire. Gold, you can't go wrong. Really pretty. So for today's demonstration, we're gonna go with the best of both worlds. So I'm gonna use one from drugstore and one from the higher end, and I'm gonna layer them, which is something that I like to do a lot. So one of the tricks that I like to use is I like to put my highlighter down on like dewy skin. So I'm gonna take my Olay mist, which is like a nice face mist, and I'm gonna spritz my face. And then I'm just gonna take a beauty blender sponge, and I'm gonna make sure that there's no like droplets, because the highlighter will catch on the droplets and then that will look kind of crazy. And I'm only going over the highest points of my cheek, which is where I'm going to put the highlight. So as far as layering the highlights, like I mentioned, I like to go in with a highlight that has like more of like a bigger glitter in it. I don't know how to explain it, but when you swatch them and see them up close, you'll be able to tell. So I'm going to go in with Global Glow by MAC. And I'm going to take that on the flat side of my fan brush, which is what I like to use for highlighting. So I'm just going to like rub that against the pan. And then I'm going to put that on a larger surface area where I like to highlight. So the best way to tell where to highlight is you can feel out your cheekbones. So the part where that's most prominent, you feel it with your finger. This is exactly where I want to highlight. And also it should run parallel to where you have contour. I'm just gonna sweep that color all across my cheeks. And then I also like to take it in the C shape and kind of like wrap it around and bring it above my eyebrow. And the same thing Without going back into the highlighter, I'm just gonna take the rest of the product and just kind of like wrap it around and put it on the highest point of my eyebrow. So kind of like where your arch is, and that's where you're gonna stop. So now I'm going in with a highlight that has a little bit of a finer glitter, and that happens to be the Master Chrome by Maybelline. So that's like a really pretty gold. And now this time I'm taking the end of my brush, like the flat edge of the top, and that's what I'm gonna dip into the highlighter. See, so I'm kind of like running it perpendicular this time. And I'm gonna place this in a more concentrated area. So you see how I was kind of like messy and I just kind of distributed it everywhere? Now this time I'm gonna lay my brush like this, and I'm putting it exactly where I know my cheekbone is. And this time I'm not gonna bring it up in that C shape, I just wanna accentuate the cheekbones. So I'm gonna do the same thing on this side, and I'm just laying that edge right above the highest point of my cheeks. Now I also like to highlight my Cupid's bow and the tip of my nose, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm just going back in the same color, and I'm taking my pinky and I'm just gonna run that along the top of my lip. And I'm also gonna go in and just like boop myself on the nose. You can also take this down the bridge of your nose. So now as far as blush, there's matte blush, there's shimmery blush, there's deeper blush, there's all different kinds of colors that you can pull from. You can pull from orange, purple, whatever it is that you're into and whatever goes with your makeup look. There are matte, really pretty colors that I like to use, like coral pinks that are in this particular duo, which is from MAC. It's the Hibiscus Kiss duo. But for today's demonstration, I'm gonna go in with a blush from MAC. These are the Mineralize blushes, and I really love these. They are packed with shimmers as well as the pigment themselves. The color that I'm going to use today is called Gentle, which is a very gentle pink. I'm taking that on a dual fiber brush. This one is from MAC, and I love using these kind of brushes because they help kind of distribute and blend everything really nicely. And the reason why I like doing blush after highlight is because my contour is already down, my highlight's already down. The blush is gonna go in between, and it's gonna melt everything else together. I find that if I'm looking for something that's a little bit more girly, more subdued, more innocent, or there's a really gorgeous man who's gonna make me blush, I make sure that I take care of the apples of my cheeks so that way he can't clock me and he can't see that I'm like really blushing for him. But most of the time I like to blush further back. It's just my thing, it's just preference, but whatever works for you, experiment, figure it out, that's perfectly fine. So what I like to do is right in between these two colors, I'm just gonna go in like sweeping motions, back and forth, in circles, until I get the payoff that I'm looking for. So now that the blush is down, something that I like to do is make sure that everything is blending really nice together. So I'm just going in with a kabuki. This is the same kabuki that I use to put down my setting powder. And I'm just kind of like pressing everything together, making sure that everything is nice and blended. Alright guys, that's all I have for you for this video. I hope that you picked up some tips and tricks on how to lay down your highlight and your blush. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you learned something from me today, please make sure that you like it. It lets me know that all the tips that I'm giving you guys is helpful, and I appreciate it so much. And also make sure that you leave me a comment down below. Listen, I know that we all have that friend that puts the highlighter in all the wrong places and they walk around here looking like a light bulb. So make sure that you share this video with them, because we don't want them looking like the floodlights on a Jeep. Okay? Subscribe for more, hit the notification bell, all that jazz. You already know, gang gang, you know the vibes. I will see you on the next one. Thank you for being the best, because you're watching this channel. That makes you the best. You know? Whatever, see you later. What are you still doing here? There's other videos for you to watch from my channel. The top one here is gonna be the next part of the series. If it's already out yet, I'll go ahead and link it right here and you can click it. If it's not there, that means that it's not out yet, and you should subscribe so that you can see when it comes out. The bottom video is gonna be the video that came before this, so we can get you caught up so that you know what's really going on, okay? What are you waiting for? Go grab a snack and watch the next video. I'm waiting.